Hello and welcome. Finally, I've got the 3-speed side to make a part 2 for this Alivio shifter. I think it's the MC12. So this particular shifter has an issue going into third gear. It's not going in. So we're going to see what that is. I can feel straight away that it's pretty dirty. I think that's going to be the issue. So let's begin. We're going to remove this bolt underneath. That's number 10. Then there's a Phillips here to remove. And now we can take off the pod cover. Here you have a nut, number 10 again. It's going to go clockwise to take off. First thing we can do is remove that tip of that spring that's seated in that plate. And we can also take off the plate now. And the spring. Next here you have a bushing. Let's lift up that first lever. So underneath it you have the pull. There's a clip to take off here. Then the pull and the spring that was just sitting underneath. And then you have this nylon bushing. You can now lift out the mech. And you'll see right here there's another clip to remove. That should allow you now to remove this square shaped plate. The spring here just unlatched, but it was hooked onto here. Man, that was hard to get off. So underneath that there was a spring that actually flew off, and I believe that the longer tip was facing downwards. Underneath that you have this return spring that's hooked on. Lift that up. There's a spacer, copper one. We can now take off the next lever. No. So there's two pulls here to remove. You can take them off. So one was lodged just there between those two teeth. And the next one. Finally here you can lift up the cam and the sprocket, and there's also bushing right there. This part here can be removed, but I would leave it in position because you want it in the same place when you're going to install it and you don't want to mix up things. So leave it like this in preference. And on top of that sprocket you have this bushing. Sprocket and the cam with a spring on the other side. Right, I'm going to give that all a clean. You can do the same as well. I'm not going to work on the dial unless, let me check. Maybe I will. I think I will. Let's open up that dial while we're at it and clean it up. So just take off this screw here that's on the side for the adjustment of the lever. Makes it easier to take off the cover. Here you have another Phillips. You have 2 screws to remove off here. You can now lift up that cover to expose the dial. And here you have its cam. And I think you need to take off this barrel adjuster to take off the last part. Okay, nothing too complicated here. We're going to give each part clean. As you'll see, I put mine in a kind of like an order. Makes it easier when you're cleaning. Do the same thing. You put the clean parts in order and then group them. Makes it a lot easier to pretty much put it all back together. So I'll let you get on with that, and then we'll get on to the rebuilds. Okay, I've given everything a global clean. Now let's add on some grease onto the parts that have any friction, and then we can assemble. First thing, grab the return spring for the cam, and the tip that's sticking outwards is going to go into the slit on the side right here, and make sure that goes all the way down. Next, on the other side, you're going to have the sprocket part. Now there's one part here that's I've got it's saying E, and we're going to face it towards this way. So now grab the main pivoting part that goes running through the middle, and the sprocket and the cam is going to face like this, and the other tip of that spring is going to go into the hole right here on the right, so you can just face that in there, and it's going to be like this in position, and here you can see it's reclining and returning. Following is this bushing, so facing this way, push all the way down. Next, take this pull right here, and we're going to put it onto its pivot, and you're going to pull back, and I believe it was on the first tooth like so, and the next pull was on this one. This pull here has a spring. You can put that on the top for now. Grab this lever, and it's going to seat into that bushing, and it will be in this position. On top of that, you have that copper colored spacer, and then we have the this spring, so that hook part is going to hook around on this pivot, and the tip of the spring that's facing downwards is going to hook onto the like on the other hook of that lever. So let's put that there, and I either take a plier. I'm just going to use this screwdriver to kind of help you bring it to the place where you need it to go. Oh, there you go. Make sure it's flat. Done. Next, take this plate. That little bit that's folding downwards is going to go downwards, and we're going to place it right here. Push that through, so the 2 pivoting parts for those pulls are going to go through those holes, and make sure that's all the way seated. Remember to move that little other tip of that spring out the way. It's eventually going to be latching in on onto here. Let's put the clip first, and then we'll latch that up onto there after. Yeah, got that on, and now let's bring this up to here. If you have a long nose plier, this might be the best solution for this to bring that spring back up. There, it's done, and it's hooked there. We're gonna put this pull on the on that lever. So underneath here, there's that short part of that spring. I believe that's going to go facing downwards, and you pop that into the hole right there. Okay, right here you've got the pull. And then we've got to put a clip on. And there's a nylon washer afterwards. So now you need to install that. You're going to recline this a little bit back to help you put it on. Stick that through there, and that should go in front of the that sprocket part of the tooth with the E stamped. Once you've done that, you can put the next bushing, seat that in. Okay, now grab the return spring for the last lever that we just put in. So on the outside, that tip that's facing downwards is going to go into that hole right there. And next, grab this plate, and it should go in. No, not that one. So this one is this one. And for the other tip of that spring, we're going to bring it up to this slot right there. So grab anything that's flat, allows you to do that. Bring it all the way here. Make sure that goes nicely underneath. Push down, and we're done. Put some type of Loctite locking fluid on here if you've got some. Don't have to, but it's ideal. That's going to be screwing on anti-clockwise. Don't do it too tight. Straight away. Next, take the lever again. You have this female bolt part. You want to make sure you put back on. And then there's the cam. I think that fits in through here. Like so. And the other tip for the cam there, you want to make sure that goes into the slot there when you're going to put this all back on. See if that's going to work. Yeah, okay, it's on. Put this screw back in. Put that cover back on. And it's 2 screws. Put this seal on before you put the mech back on, and that tip right here, that plastic part, that's going to need to go into the hole of that cam right here when you're inserting it, so make sure you aim for that. Okay, I think I got it. Let's put the cover back on. Let's put a bolt. Now there's a little spacer here, so I hope you didn't lose yours. Let's put the barrel adjuster back on. And that bolt here for the lever. So let's test that. Yeah, perfectly working. So hopefully this helped you rebuild your Alivio MC12 lever or service it. Until next time, peace out.